Warning! This podcast contains spoilers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Once Upon a Time, Season 2, Episode 20 and 21, The Evil Queen and Second Star to the Right. I am your host for tonight, Jacob, and with me I have Nikki.
Hi. I don't see Jacob. I really don't. I'm looking for him. I don't see him. I hear him, but I don't see him.
He's dead. And so we have Rachel.
Hi. I'm just here.
So Dom is gone.
We killed him.
Yeah, like we threw him down a cliff somewhere.
His ego got too big for the show, so we booted him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now he's on Forgotten Characters Island. Yeah, he's over there hanging out with Tinkerbell and Frankenstein and all them.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, he has the technical difficulties. The internet is broken. It happens a lot. Okay, so we're still going to go on.
We have to.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, so out of the 2 episodes, which one was your guys' favorite?
Again, it's like for two different reasons. I loved seeing the whole someone actually, trying to beat down Regina. That was cool. But on the other hand, I do love the intro of Neverland, and exactly like what happened to Bayfire after he dropped.
I think I'm going with 21, Second Star to the Right, because I do like the Balefire flashbacks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I like the origin stories a lot, like the flashbacks when they give you the, little tidbits of what happened to them before you see them now, which we got a lot of in season 2. We've seen that season 2 and season 3. We get a lot of the flashbacks and origin stories and stuff. So.
Well, this is at the point of the show where I think when we got to the second half of season 2, we kind of got away from the fantasy elements and started going into more of blending the 2 worlds, our world and Storybrooke.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say that season 2 is not one of my favorites for that reason, because we see the blending of these 2 worlds and how they clash, but it wasn't. There was something missing. There was that, awe and wonder, and the fantasy aspect of the show was missing. And personally, I missed it, and it's not what I watched the show for. The conflict is interesting, but it's not what I watched the show for. So, which is why I was getting excited the first time I was watching this season, and we got to Second Star to the Right. I'm like, okay, we're getting back into this, and, this is what I want. I want my Disney, and I want my, Neverland that we've been teasing for these past few episodes, and now we're finally going there.
Definitely.
Okay, but we start off the episode. We'll start with episode 20. We start off the episode. We know Hook has been captured from the last episode by Tamara and Greg, these 2 lame-ass villains who, I personally never liked.
No. Well, I still can't see the actor who plays Greg anything than a goofy, in his goofy teenage movies he used to play when he was younger.
Well, it's not even that. He can't do dramatic acting.
No, he can't. He can do comedy, like no one's business. But this actor, dramatic, is not his thing.
He doesn't have a serious face.
No, I mean, even when he was torturing, Regina and stuff, all you want to do is like, oh my God, you're so horrible, but I want to laugh at you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not intimidating in the slightest.
Mm-mm. No. And when he's threatening her, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't be even scared of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared of a lot of things. So.
Yeah, well, I think Tamara definitely runs the thing. She wears the pants in the relationship, definitely. And I don't know, he just kind of went off track from the original mission. So what they want to do is they want to get rid of all things magical. And they need Hook as part of their plan because he thought he killed Rumpelstiltskin. It turns out you didn't. You failed because this bitch just refuses to die.
Yeah.
But they use that as leeway, so like they can get him on his side. They need him to go and convince Regina to do the thing because apparently there was a stalemate in the curse.
It's the failsafe, yeah.
So
I remember that, or when they I didn't remember it until they said, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Okay, yeah, I remember that episode now.
But so what this does is when it's triggered, it destroys Storybrooke and everybody goes back to the Enchanted Forest. Reverses the curse, and because Storybrooke was never there in the first place, it's going to go away, killing everybody in the town if they don't escape. So perfect for the people who want to destroy all things magical. They don't plan on, taking anybody with them. They're just going to hit the failsafe and then, get the fuck out. Now, we do get, this is one of the reasons why I love Hook, because pirates in Disney, at least like old Disney, pirates were never like that bad. And if they were bad, it was like, mustache twirling, ha ha ha, evil. But the reason why I like this Hook, because his allegiances lie where things benefit him. And he's
a bounty hunter, basically.
Yeah, I would say that.
That's
or
what
Hitman,
bounty hunters are. They're space pirates.
Whatever, it is they need him for. But we get him and Regina. And so Regina offers Hook another offer, and he's going to do whatever that suits him. Regina says to Hook that we have this failsafe. We're going to go trigger it. It's down underneath the library in that basement that we saw from last season. Mm-hmm. And it's guarded by this fucking thing who doesn't resemble Maleficent.
No.
In the slightest, but apparently that's who this is. Because there's a curse or like a spell underground that like preserves her. So she doesn't really die. She doesn't really die. But she came back as whatever this thing. What is this thing? I don't know what it is.
A white or a wraith. It's one of those.
A banshee?
No, not a banshee.
Who knows?
It's definitely an undead creature of a sort.
Yeah.
But I mean, they don't explain it, so.
They don't. We never see this thing again. I refuse to call it Maleficent because that's not Maleficent.
No.
No, Maleficent isn't an animal. Well, I guess she kind of is, but she doesn't act like one. It would have been interesting if we saw, if you kill Maleficent in dragon form, but she comes back as pretty blonde Maleficent. That would be interesting, Yeah. But we have this screeching thing that it's very inconsistent on her side.
I feel like they had they had a nice complex storyline for this particular part of Maleficent to say she has many forms because she's such a powerful sorceress, and the spell is keeping her from being her normal self, so she has to cycle through all her forms before it can get to that point or something. I wish they would have taken that and gone with it rather than throw us into second half of season 4 with that stupid storyline.
I don't know. I personally think because we got Maleficent in there, proper Maleficent.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think they probably had a lot of a lot they wanted to do with Maleficent, but at the time the storyline and story thing they didn't come together.
The way they wanted to. You know what I mean? Not available at this time.
Yeah.
So.
Which is unfortunate, but in season 4, that whole story was supposed to be a season long. But then the higher ups just said just put Frozen in there. So unfortunately, we had plans for it. They just never, they didn't have the time to spend as much, time with Maleficent as we possibly could have.
Right. I mean, and even now we don't know what happened with Maleficent. All we know is she took Lily and went to teach her how to fly. or whatnot, or
How to be
control
a
her
dragon.
dragon. How to be a dragon. She's trained her how to
I'm trading for dragon.
We're gonna go that route.
That's not Disney related.
No, it's not, but very, very close. A close cousin.
It's a cousin.
Okay, but we also have on the other side of town, which is like 20 feet away. We have David and Mary Margaret, and this whole discussion about wanting to leave Storybrooke and going back to the Enchanted Forest, but the way that they're going to do it is with these magic beans. But they plan to leave, just leave Regina behind, because they don't want to take her back. But just leave the poor normal people with Regina. That's a good idea.
Sounds like a good. Well, I mean, I think what they were thinking is that she's not going to be happy in the Enchanted Forest because everyone's going to hate her, and everyone is going to be after her. So if they left her there, she has more of a chance to start over again. I think they just didn't explain it right, you know what I mean? And she caught on like, oh, they're just gonna leave me here because they hate me, blah blah. And I think they're thinking, well, if we're not together, then chances of us both having a quote unquote happy ending might happen, kind of thing. That's what I got from it. That's just me, you know what I mean? Because those three together are pretty toxic. So
Yeah.
At
Well,
this
yeah,
point in
it's
time,
really
at this
toxic.
point in time. At this point in time, it's pretty toxic.
Yeah. Well, the other plan was take her with you, but just lock her up in.
Yeah,
Dungeon,
Oh.
yeah.
which that's not,
Well, which Regina it does not approve of.
Of course, who would? And I don't think, and Snow she didn't really like that idea either. You could tell she was just like, I mean, even though, all the crap that Regina's done to her, she still, no matter what, she still sees that Regina she met before her mom.
And
She still sees that Regina.
In the flashbacks, she clearly said that to
Mhm.
Regina, not knowing it was Regina, but she said that almost in those exact words. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's never gonna change. Snow, Mary, Margaret, whoever, whatever name you want to call her, she's always gonna see the good in people.
And especially in Regina, because she knew Regina before her mom decided to rip out Daniel's heart.
Yeah.
And before she did that, Regina was a good person. She didn't want to be anything like her mother. She refused to be anything like her mother.
That's why she pushed her mom through the looking glass.
Yeah.
Which was the start of her down spiral, but
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Well, that was for the better, and we wouldn't have this amazing character growth that she has later.
Yeah,
but for
right.
now, she's still making stupid decisions. She burns down the bean plantation, and then she takes a few of her own, and then she goes to Henry because she knows what's up, telling Henry, well, your family's planning on leaving to the Enchanted Forest, but they're not going to take me. We can't have that, can we?
She's still running on emotion. She is running purely on emotion right now. She's not thinking straight. She's just purely on, oh my God, this is going to happen to me. I don't want this to happen to me. I'm going to lose Henry. Oh my God. She's just freaking out, basically.
if Cora never came back and didn't die, I think Regina would have been on the plan of leaving with everybody else on good terms.
Yes.
So, Snow, you fucked it up.
But Cora kind of did it. Cora fucked her up. Cora made her doubt herself, doubt that she could be good, doubt that she could be redeemed. Cora made her doubt all that shit.
Yeah, well, Cora didn't have a heart.
No.
Yes, I know. Cora didn't have a heart till the very end.
It's interesting to think what would have happened, had they, went through that plan, just let Rumple die, put the heart back in Cora, and maybe things would have been okay. Well, we still would have had other evils to conquer, but maybe they would have been conquered, faster if we had Regina on our side. But right now, Regina's not on our side.
Oh.
And she has the brilliant idea of triggering the failsafe, getting Henry and herself, using the magic beans, back to the Enchanted Forest and letting everybody else die.
Yep. Henry don't want none of that.
No, because it's fucking stupid.
It's fucking stupid.
It is.
Like, who thought this was a good idea? Well, it might be a good idea to Regina, but, like, why are you telling this to Henry?
Mm-hmm. But then she goes and makes him forget it.
Yeah. That doesn't make it any better.
No, it really doesn't.
And see, this is the problem with Regina and problem with every villain, before their character growth, if they ever have one, is that they always take the easy way out. They don't want to come.
Well, and then most of the time, if you think about it, all the villains, they're running on emotion. They're running on who betrayed them and who made them feel little, who made them feel bad about themselves. They run on that, on the whole revenge thing. And that's all pure emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So...
But it's the bad emotions.
Yes, they're the bad emotions. But yeah, if you look at all the villains, that's what they all run on. Mm-hmm. Something happened in their past to make them this way. And that doesn't go for Disney either. That's for basically any villain in any movie.
Yeah, but that's why we love them, because they're human.
Yes,
but
they're flawed humans.
Speaking of flawed humans, let's go over to Tamara over there at Granny's ordering her food. And so she bumps into Emma, and then Emma sees a little list. It says this person is this person, and this person.
She's a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is, yeah.
Yeah, so Emma's just getting just a little bit suspicious, and you know what, I would be too. This woman who just came out of nowhere, in the town and snooping everywhere.
And she's supposedly she's just going to accept all of this? Neil has his head in the sand. I mean, seriously.
It took a season for Emma.
Yeah, right?
It did. And, she is a magical being herself. So, I mean, if it took her that long, Tamara, Jesus Christ.
Now, to be fair now, Tamara did see, Blue turn Pinocchio back into a little boy, so... But she didn't freak out. In any other case, I think somebody that you would have a little bit of a freak out at least. Holy shit,
well, there had to be. See, this is the thing that we don't get from Tamara. We don't get a true backstory of her. There has to be a reason why she's going after magic. Did something happen to her? Was she from a magical place and just not telling anyone? I mean, things like that. What made her hate magic so much that she was willing to kill people to get rid of it?
Well, not to jump too far ahead, but she does use the word unholy. So, maybe that whole thing. I don't know. Maybe she's really religious or something. But still,
it still doesn't explain a lot, because I don't know. It's just she's too against it just for it to be just one thing. You know what I mean? It seems like it's a deep-seated hate.
That's the problem with these two. It's they're not interesting.
No, she has this deep-seated hate. She's all, and all he wants to do is find his daddy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
So he has a backstory.
Yeah.
I still don't like it, but he's easier to connect with. She, on the other hand, I don't get it.
No. Mm-hmm. It probably has something to do with her grandmother, because, that's what I am going to assume, because she carries a picture of her with her grandmother with her everywhere. But we, like you guys said, there's no backstory there. There's no reason for us to believe anything else.
Yeah.
But Emma is suspicious that this is the she that August was trying to tell them about before he could say anything. Convenient. Mm-hmm. She goes to tell Mary Margaret about it. Mary Margaret says, no, you were thinking too much into this. But here's the thing that really pissed me off. So Mary Margaret says, you can't let Henry know about this, even if Tamara is up to something, because if he knows that, then he might start getting the idea that you and Neil will get back together. Bitch. So you're telling me that the reason why this is a bad thing, the reason why Tamara being evil is bad is because Henry's going to get his hopes up.
I don't know.
This is what you're worried about.
That's what you're worried about? That's the biggest thing you're worried about? I don't know. I hate the whole time that, that Emma, throughout this whole entire episode, had legit reasons to suspect Tamara about things. Legit reasons. And no one's, listening to her, and everyone's saying, oh, you're just jealous. Oh, that is just, oh God, it just bugged me through the whole entire show.
And the thing, they kind of enforced in season 1 was that she does have an internal lie detector. And until now, they all seem to really believe in it. And all of a sudden now, Mary Margaret's like, your superpower is unreliable. Like,
Well,
just
it
kinda
always
like,
has been.
And then Neil, who has known her for a long time, even though they haven't seen each other for 10 years, is like, oh, you're just, he's pushing all her suspicions that he's just brushing it off. It's like, you know her. You worked with her. You guys did jobs together. You know what I mean? And it's like, and now you're just going to just be like, oh, you're just going to be jealous. You're just, just this little jealous woman, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, this is BS. It really bugged me. I don't know what. It just grained on my nerves. Like, stop, everyone, quit telling her that she's jealous. Because she's not acting like a jealous woman. She's acting like there are legit reasons. And there were legit little, signs.
She was investigating. She was like, stalking his, like, taking his phone and stalking his messages or anything,
Yeah. I mean, there was legit reasons why if there wasn't legit reasons, she wouldn't have, thought twice about her. But there was, Tamara was letting, little droplets of, suspicions out.
I mean, I would be suspicious too if someone went and gave me the biggest, cheesiest grin and said, "You can trust me."
I know.
I'd be like,
you don't trust people that say you can trust me when you first meet them. Sorry, that's like rule number one. If you first, seriously, if you just met someone and they go, "Oh, you can trust me," you're like, "No, I can't, because I know nothing about you." Sorry.
But Henry overhears the whole thing. He believes Emma, because he's the only one with brains in the series. But they're going to play a little undercover cop, have a little stakeout, and try to see, what is she up to? What is she all about? And they're the only ones who are concerned. They go try to break into the apartment. And so Emma's trying to teach Henry like the little tricks that they learned, So you're going to be the lookout. And if Neil comes over, you just, like bump into the door, accidentally. That's the signal. That's like the okay, go signal.
But where are you going to run, Emma? I mean,
you can hide. Hey, you know what? I was thinking about this. I'm like, tell him to stand by the door. And if Neil comes, say, "Oh, I was looking for you, Dad. I was wondering if you wanted to go out to lunch or something." He came to his hotel room looking for him.
Logic. Something Emma really does not have a lot of the time.
Right over the head. Mm-hmm. So, that's I was like, okay, that's annoying. And when he's like, "Oh, I taught her that." I'm like, yeah, you taught her that. You guys have known each other long enough that you know that, when she suspects someone of something, it's not bullshit. Mm-hmm. It's not something just to throw away.
But of course, Neil comes by, just conveniently. He runs into the door, wondering, like, what are you doing here? Emma just has to admit, yes, I think Tamara is up to something. Then she talks about the list. He says, well, I helped her make the list. And
why?
Well, it makes sense that,
it does, but it's like any other rational person would be kind of like skeptical about this. Except for probably us, because we like Disney and we're kind of hoping that there are Disney characters out there like that. But any other rational person would be like, "Hey, you need help." Honey, I got a therapist for you,
Not a very good one.
No, not a very good one, though.
Dr. Hopper. I'm talking about Dr. Hopper.
Yeah, where is he?
In the field? I don't know.
Well, the field that got burned down. Was he in there while it was burned down? Hopefully, no. He's
No.
But so Emma has explained the whole thing to Neil. It's so embarrassing. Neil thinks like, "Oh, you're just a jealous girlfriend, like the crazy ass bitch ex-girlfriend." She's like, "Do I look that way?" Breaking into homes and whatever else. You're totally normal.
Yeah. In Neil's eyes, you probably are. Yeah.
But she has a good reason to be, because this bitch is crazy.
Yep.
Okay, let's go back to Regina and Hook and their little endeavors. So Regina notices that Hook is wearing this cuff that belonged to Cora. and it's magical. It allows him to climb the beanstalk, and then she just says, "Okay, yeah, that's cute. Give it back."
That's my mom's. I want it.
And what she doesn't know is that this cuff really belongs to, well, it's a special science thingy from Greg and Tamara.
Is this the first time we've seen the cuff? Because they use cuffs
so.
every.
I don't remember.
We haven't seen this particular cuff because he's like, it's science, and there's
I know, but
inside in between the leather, and it's like,
and
dude,
other
it's not even a quarter of an inch thick. How can there be shit in there?
Because it's not science, it's magic.
It's
because
magic.
the guy who they work for is Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my god.
There's no
Well, I
other
think-
people. These are the only two agents of this made-up organization.
right. I'm just saying because after this, we see a lot of like, oh, they put the cuff on Zelina, they put a cuff on Regina again. They, after this,
They're magic cuffs. It's not.
there are magic cuffs.
Yes, they're anti-magic cuffs.
They're not the cool ones that Wonder Woman has. I'm sorry.
No, they don't deflect anything, unfortunately.
Except for magic. They're like, nope, bitch, you ain't gonna do any magic today.
Oh. So she can't use her powers, and so Hook is back on Greg and Tamara's side. Was he always on their side, or did he switch over? I don't know. Whatever he wants.
I think he switched over when she left him down there to deal with the
Yeah.
weirdo Maleficent.
As soon as she gave him like a good old push down into that looked like
could have killed
long,
him.
It could have killed. That was a long ass fall, and he landed on some really nasty rocks.
No, like what if he died and then Maleficent ate him, and then like where was your distraction then?
Yeah, exactly.
But Regina's captured, and they take her to the tuna packing place.
Sardines. It wasn't tuna. It was
was
sardines.
Sardines. Oh, sardines. Gross. Blech.
My daughter eats it out of the can.
Oh. Where did she get that from?
My husband's Finnish. I'm Norwegian, so yeah,
Okay.
Scandinavian thing.
All right. That makes sense.
Okay. So, let's go into more pleasant things. Let's go to back in the day in the Enchanted Forest. We have good old Regina in her prime, looking for snow like she does. She goes to this little village. She knows that Snow White was there. She goes to look there. She's not there. And nobody in the entire village has seen her. So they say, or they don't say, they just don't say anything. She offers them gold. They don't want it. They ain't having any of it. What does she do? I'll kill them all.
Mm-hmm. Off with their heads.
Arrow in their backs.
I know they all had their heads on, but clearly it's just kill them all. Who cares?
Yeah.
Kinda,
It's not the first. Is that like the first time we've seen her actually kill a full village?
this is pretty early in the hunt for Snow.
Mhm.
I think it was
I'm sure
one of
she
the
has
first.
before, but we
Yeah.
just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's one thing I've noticed. The earlier versions, they're a little more gritty. They show that stuff. Like they actually showed the dead people laying there with blood. I mean, granted, it was really bright blood, so really fake.
it dried up.
But they didn't. They don't. I mean, later on, they don't show that kind of. They never showed that kind of stuff anymore.
Maybe
It's sort of becoming more of Disney backing Once Upon a Time, so they kind of had to lessen the gore a little bit.
I think it's because after they introduced Frozen into the show, more kids started watching the show, which isn't bad,
No. Yeah, a younger audience did come in.
But I kind of miss the edginess that we had in these earlier seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Regina going back to her castle, all grumpy. She's not getting what she wants, and of course Rumple's there. She says, "Why don't they like me? I mean, I killed an entire village. Why don't they like
No,
me?"
they like me. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Well, he says, "Well, because you're an evil bitch and you just killed an entire village." So
Right? I love the fact that Rumple was just so blasé that, well, you did just kill a village. I don't know why they don't like
To
you.
be fair, Rumple's blasé all the damn time.
I know. I just love it when he's like that. He's like,
Hey, that's why
he's my
a lot of-
sarcastic senpai.
That's why a lot of people like Rumple Enchanted Forest Rumple more than Gold, because he actually has some sort of personality back in the Enchanted Forest.
Well,
He's
he was
very
more
sarcastic, and he's just very like, yeah.
So she wants to go out into the public, you know, and to see what's going on, and like to find Snow herself, and she wants to learn how to do the glamour spell to disguise herself that Korra would do. It took Korra forever to learn that one.
Yeah.
And of course,
We might be able to do highlights. That would be good for me. I'll do some highlights.
Oh, you know what? If I could just dye my hair on a whim, I'd be awesome with that. Thank you. Please teach me.
Teach me that. And laundry. Can we have like self-folding laundry sometime soon, please?
Oh, just click your fingers and it's all done. Who gives a crap? There's no process. Just let it happen.
Just what happened.
But she doesn't want to wait that long, so she just says to Rumple, "Okay, you can do it. Just do it on me, and then we'll all be good."
Just do it on me. But I do love the fact that she stopped him and went like, "But what's the catch?"
Well, he says, "Well, I just want you to cut all ties with King George's kingdom." She says, "Why?" He's like, "Because I need him bankrupt." And so this is the little tie-in to David's story about why King George needed Midas's daughter to marry his son in the first place. So, you know, good job, writer. You know, tying it back. It's good.
Now we know why it all happened.
But so he does the spell and says to her, "Okay, so there are some rules. You can't use your magic. Only I can turn you back. And, you know, if you need me, you can call me." So she goes off into the world, into the little courtyard, and she sees the village people just throwing tomatoes and, you know, cabbages and rotten food at a statue of her.
And darts, too. There's darts involved.
Yeah, and so the guy can people gotta eat, you know? They gotta eat. You gotta make your business somehow. And
I just love... Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to say, I just love the fact that they're doing this, and they're like, you hit the... Well, she's like, "It's wrong. Why are you doing this?" "Oh, I know it is wrong because the queen doesn't have a heart." I'm just like...
But why are you guys doing this in the open, in the marketplace? You know, there's no, you know, underground places or in the woods, maybe.
Yeah, because clearly the guards walked right on up, so...
At the most inconvenient time they possibly have.
Rivers.
Regina's right up there.
She knows your name.
So, but she clearly forgot that she's not her right now.
No, yeah, it's hard to let go.
To be fair, she forgot the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except when she was sitting there absolutely like a slump in the tent being mended. That's the only time she knew she wasn't herself.
I mean, I think she had time to like process it. You know, she's getting used to her new body and her new face. So Snow saves her from the guard.
You don't tell the guards, "Well, I am the queen." They're like, "Oh, this is a nutball. This is nutter. Let's go take her to the nut house."
The way she shimmied a little bit and then threw down her hood, it was like
the jasmine.
You're not.
Yeah, the jasmine thing.
You're not convincing anyone, sweetheart.
No. Snow rescues.
It's not gonna work.
She has to go. Snow rescues her, puts her in a log, like a fallen tree somewhere, and she tends to her wounds, and you know they have a little nice little talk. Snow doesn't realize this is Regina. Regina knows who this is. It's Snow, and she has to put up the act. So, what's your name, Wilma?
Wilma? Of all the names to come up with, my name's Wilma.
I guess it must be a common miller's daughter name or something. I don't know.
Why didn't they name her Millie?
That would have been too obvious, I think.
Too obvious.
Hi, I'm Millie.
What are your parents?
Millie. I'm Millie.
Oh man.
Hi. Sorry.
Okay, in chat, yes, I would love to see a blonde Regina. That would be interesting.
Oh, that would
this
be...
episode would have been more interesting if you just sent Regina out there with a wig. And hoping nobody noticed.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. So Snow shares a story to Wilma about how there was a woman who saved her from the runaway horse all those years back when she was, just a child, and how the woman saved her. Who this woman didn't know who she was. She didn't have any reason to do that, just out of the kindness of her heart, which taught Snow that there's always good in people, even in strangers. And so she's carried that lesson her whole life. Well, she only uses it sometimes, not on other times where you're stealing another person's baby. But so
That's
she
neither here or there. Yeah.
Yeah. But it did happen.
It did.
But her and Wilma, are going off into the woods, running away from the guards, trying to get away. And so Snow tries to go back to that village that she was hiding out in earlier. And so they talk more about Regina and how Wilma asks Snow, what would you do if the queen was right here, right now? And Snow says, I wouldn't kill her. I wouldn't hurt her. I would forgive her because she's clearly hurting. She's still heartbroken. She wants somebody to blame, but she's not willing to, admit that she is hurting and that, she doesn't want to appear weak.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
No.
Well, because all the bullshit that her mom fed into her head, love is weakness. Of course, Rumpel told her mom that, but love is weakness, or showing them any kind of mercy is showing that you're weak, or showing any kind of compassion, you're weak. That's what her mom taught her, and so that's all she knows. I mean, even though her dad tried to be like, but her dad was really weak. Was not weak, but he was beaten down by years of Cora.
He's a very passive character.
Yeah.
He's not very outgoing, outspoken. He's soft. And
Well, like I said, he's been beaten down years with Cora.
that's true.
Cora beat his ass. She beat down his spirit. Who knows? I mean,
Maybe she
did
did too.
maybe she did. We don't know.
I mean,
We don't know exactly their
He did
relationship.
start out as a complete jerk, right? When we did the Miller's Daughter episode, that is the same. That's her dad, right?
Yeah, he's not a jerk. His father was a jerk. His daddy was an ass.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
see,
right.
Prince
Yeah.
Prince
Okay.
Henry didn't do anything. He wasn't his
Yeah.
own person.
Okay. I kind of switched the prince and the greedy
Yeah,
father.
The prince was more. He was very loving. He was even towards Cora. He was very loving when they were dancing and stuff.
But he was a wuss.
He was a wuss. He was a prince. He was a pampered prince, and he probably was talked down to by his dad.
Oh,
a lot.
His dad straight out said that he was pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did have didn't he have 5 other brothers or something?
I
You know,
can't.
No
He
idea.
was probably bullied as a child.
Who knows? But I mean, I think.
They said he was 5th in line for the throne. So
Yeah.
there's people before him.
But I think at the heart of it, Prince Henry, he was a very caring, as you could tell, even with Regina, even though she did all this evil stuff, he was very caring and loving towards her, and very, he wanted that. It's like he didn't want to be a prince. He wanted to have a family. He wanted to have this loving family, and he wanted what everyone really wants. And he obviously didn't get it with Cora.
No. Well, we don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they learned to tolerate each other. I don't
They
know.
did. She
I know,
learned
we
to
don't know.
tolerate him.
We never saw their relationship, and it might be interesting to go back and see what it was like. Maybe it was, or maybe we don't want to see it because it was that terrible. But that wasn't enough, to have Regina turn out the way that she did.
Mm-hmm. She was more like her father than her mom.
Yeah.
Because her father loved her. Her father loved her unconditionally. No matter what she did, her father loved her. And she knew that.
So they stumble back onto the village. And so Snow looks over the hill, and it's dead bodies everywhere.
All the bodies at the floor.
They're just piled everywhere, some over there, some over there.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of disturbing.
Yeah. it is.
Yeah.
So Snow realizes, this is this is the village that I stayed at, and because Regina found out, all these people are dead.
Yep.
And that's when Snow takes everything back. She says, nope, no more good in that woman. If she is here, I am killing her now.
We all know different. We all know your heart, Snow.
I mean, it came down to her actually figuring out that it was not Wilma, it was Regina. She had an arrow, like, right at her face, and she didn't let go. So she let her run away, even after Regina thought she could throw a fireball again.
Mm-hmm.
And she calls out for Rumple. Rumple, Rumple. No, he's not showing up. And she just runs away.
Yep.
Snow ultimately could not kill Regina. Doesn't matter how angry she is. Doesn't matter how angry she is at her present day. She's never going to kill Regina.
Nope.
She just doesn't have it in her. You have it in you to, transport a helpless innocent baby somewhere else. But I digress.
She
Regina
didn't
comes
kill
back.
it.
No, she didn't kill it, but still, it's a baby. You don't leave the baby in the forest. But Regina goes back to the castle, and Rumple's there. She's like, why didn't you come when I called you? He said, I said you can call. I didn't say I was going to answer.
Oh, Rumple.
He's like, who are you? He was like, you stink.
That little ruse, yeah.
You stink. You smell. She's like, you know who I am. And he's like, I don't know. Such bold peasants these days. It's like,
Regina did not like her little. She didn't like her little day out.
Oh,
And
he did tell her.
he did tell her, yeah.
She didn't listen.
No.
Well, now, what is she going to do now? Rain terror on everybody else, even though they didn't do anything.
She said something about the queen is dead. Long live the evil queen. So.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
That's the wrong.
Oh, damn it.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Well, actually, we won't get there. We had already went there.
We already went there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that does it for that episode. So we're going to go to the penultimate episode. We're almost done, you guys. Second star to the right. So we get to see, so we know that Bellfire went through the magic beam portal. Rumple didn't want to go. Rumple was too scared, so he went by himself. Now, we didn't know where he went to initially.
No.
So where he ended up, what a lot of people assumed was Neverland. He didn't go there first. He was in Neverland, but first he initially went to because what he was thinking of when the portal was opening was to go to a world without magic. And so he went to, I don't think this is our world. It is a fictional London.
It's an alternate universe London.
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of like the one where Alice is from.
Yeah. And Alice is right down the street. We just don't see her. We go to this other alternate London where there is no magic, but it's still another realm, not our realm.
Mm-hmm.
He's out in the streets. He sees all these weird things. He sees a lamppost. He's never seen one of those before. Everything's all new. And he has no place to stay. So he does the Snow White thing and go to banditry, sneaking into people's houses, stealing their bread.
Dude, why didn't he just take the bread? Why did he have to totally massacre that bread right then and there?
You don't.
Hungry.
You're starving. You don't put the bread nicely in your pocket, hop out the window, and then go. No, he's gonna pick out on that.
I would.
Yeah, I would too. When you
I'm gonna take this bread with me because I don't want to get caught. Yeah, self-preservation here.
I don't know. Well, he did try to save some, and then of course under the table we have little Nana.
Nana. I want a Saint Bernard. I want one.
They're very slobbery.
Oh, I know.
When they shake, their slobber goes all over the walls.
Oh, I know.
Nana is one of my favorite Disney characters. My favorite Disney character is always the obscure ones that nobody thinks of. So Nana is one of my favorites. And Nana's barking and hollering. So Wendy comes in. And she's going to hit Neil with a statue off the mantle.
How does one little girl pick up a big, solid stone statue like that? It was huge.
Strong. She's strong.
It was like a bowling trophy or something.
It was massive. It was the whole size of her upper body.
Yeah. But then, she's a kind-hearted. He's like, I'm not. I'll leave. I'm not. She's like, I noticed though when she like handed him the tray of bread, all 3 breads were back on there.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's magic.
It's magic. The massicured one was all put back together.
The magic of
maybe he took it out of his pocket and then put it back together. So he could be polite. He's like, okay, I'll go, but like I'll put your bread back together.
Ew. What about the stuff that he ate?
He spit it back out. And
I mean, that's how he got it to mold so good, because like building a sandcastle, right?
Okay.
Oh, it's all wet bread.
No, she says, you shouldn't be out on the streets and you're starving. Like, we'll put you in the little hidey hole. It's like Harry Potter. We'll put you under a little cupboard.
I never really connected it like that.
Yeah, I can't believe they were like, when his parents found it, they're like, "How long have you been here?" He's been here for a couple weeks. What?
Does he shower?
No, because he's having the same clothes on.
It's gross.
Ew.
I mean, come on now, would you be that? Nikki is a mom of a tween like me, and if you found a boy in her room in her hidey hole that's been there for a couple of weeks, would you be that even keeled?
Oh God, no! I'd call the police.
Right?
There's somebody in my wall.
I'd be like, what? The boy be running.
Yeah.
So the parents find out Mr. Darling is not having it. There's a man. Well, there's a boy, rather. A boy in my daughter's room in the wall.
And then Mama Darling's just like, yeah, he can stay. Like,
okay.
You granted it is a different time.
Well, you know what? Because I mean, she's very compassionate, and of course, we all know at the end of the Peter Pan story, well, the original Peter Pan story, not the Disney version, Mrs. Darling does adopt all of the Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right.
So just one this time. We're all poor, but we can have another mouth to feed, and we also have a dog that we also need to take care of, but it's okay. So they all share a room. He's accepted into the family. It's all really nice. And in the middle of the night, Wendy is talking about a shadow that flies up to the window and does like little magic tricks.
And they're all excited about that. If I was her age and I saw a shadow flying up to I'd be like, underneath the covers. Whoop, just knocked off my ears.
It's a ghost. It's in front of the window.
Mm-hmm. Oh crap, my house is haunted.
I don't care how much I want to believe in magic. If there's a shadow outside my window, I am not sticking in my room. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to crawl back in bed with mommy and daddy and cry my eyes out.
Right. The blanket will help me protect me.
Well, just don't open the window.
Just close your eyes and pretend it's not there.
I don't know. He proved that he can open the window himself.
So lock the window, board up, put the bed in front of the window, whatever you got to do. I ain't letting nothing in my motherfucking house.
Yeah.
But she says it's okay because he has magic. And here's the thing: when I was watching this episode for the first time, before we knew the whole thing with Peter Pan and him being evil, I thought that the shadow was evil, just the shadow, and that the shadow was going to be the villain of next season. That would have been interesting, having that dichotomy. It would have been a better Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story than what we actually got.
Yeah.
Yes, it would have been.
But Bellfire tells her, no, magic is bad. All magic is bad just because I had one bad experience. And so stay away from the damn shadow. And yes, you are making sense, Bellfire. Stay away from the damn creepy-ass shadow with the glowy eyes.
Well, he also tells her all magic comes with a price because I've seen it. And he did. That
rule never comes up again, but okay.
I do love the fact that he's like, both my parents are dead, when realize they both aren't.
Well, maybe your dad died in a sense.
Yeah, in a sense. But, I mean, granted, he was told that his mom died when she really did.
Yeah, he doesn't know otherwise. Yeah.
She did later.
Well, at this point, she probably was dead, but he didn't. Maybe. She didn't know.
No, I think he killed her after Bayfile left. Because that's when he kind of lost it.
I don't know. Timeline's weird.
But yeah, no, I think he killed her after because he was trying to get the bean to go to the wasn't he trying to get the bean so he can go follow Bayfire?
Yes.
So Milo is still alive after Bayfire went through the hole.
And then died shortly after.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wendy promises, okay, I will not open the window to the shadow. And what does she do?
She opens the fucking window.
Wendy, I love you. I love you, but sweetie, no.
She's a cute little girl. I don't know what happened to her, but she's adorable.
But she opens the window and the shadow, being all creepy, takes her by the hand and they just fly away.
It's fun!
It seemed like the shadow took her very gently, whereas when he took Balefire, he was just like
He just
whipping
grabbed
her
her by
around.
the hair.
I'm like, dude, if you want him alive, quit trying to aim for the freaking smokestacks.
Yeah. I know. Oh man.
This makes me wonder, why did the shadow take Wendy in the first place?
Because the kids needed a mom.
I don't think that's what they wanted, though.
No, it's not what they wanted.
Peter Pan isn't concerned that the Lost Boys have a mom.
No, he's not really concerned about the Lost Boys at all. He just wants the boys. That's
He wants the
whole
boys,
deal.
so yeah, but which makes me wonder, why did the shadow take Wendy? I don't know.
Probably
Because,
so the brothers be like, oh, they brought our sister back. He'll bring us back, kind of thing,
Like,
kind of a trust thing.
I know. I don't know. Well, when she came back, she didn't sound like it was a good place. I don't know why they want to go. And see, this is why my mind went to terrible, terrible places about what Peter Pan wanted Wendy there for.
No, well, they don't have any girls, so I don't know. Maybe he was sick of all the Lost Boys going, we want our mommy. But that's Disney thing, because that's what she was. She was their mom. She read them nighttime stories, kissed them good night at night.
Sung them lullabies.
Well,
all
those
that stuff.
those Lost Boys are savages. I don't think they want any.
They don't. I don't think most of them care.
If she comes back, because
Well, she did say at night when they all go to sleep, that's when they all cry.
Yeah. Well, some of them clearly didn't want to go back. Some of them did.
Mm-hmm.
But he comes back. She said, it's a terrible place there. I do not want to go back. And you were right. We need to defend ourselves. And this is what you should have done. Granted, I'm not going to defend yourself from a shadow. It's a shadow.
Sorry, Ghostbusters wasn't a thing then.
But you know what? What are you gonna do? You put the colanders on your head and your fire pokers. It's gonna go right through the guy. But you know what? They were smart this time. They were gonna defend themselves. The shadow tries to take one of the boys, and Bay sacrifices himself for the betterment of family.
The way that Michael was standing there, I think he mesmerizes them, kind of like he looks at him, and it kind of like a vampire trance. You know what I mean? Kind of makes them feel euphoric, and that's why she was all happy to go that first time. She was like,
I don't know. I think Michael was a few seconds from pissing himself, to be honest.
He might have been.
He still
went back. Yeah. But you don't know. But yeah. Poor little Michael.
He's okay.
To be constantly 3 for the rest of your life.
Oh.
Yeah.
No one wants that. I bet you if Pam took him, he would be back within that next night because he'd be like, I ain't changing no more diapers.
Okay. But Bay goes off with the Shadow. Shadow doesn't care. He's just flinging him around like a monkey.
Ragdoll, yep.
Yeah, they end up in Neverland. And then Bay, he has matches for some reason. And, how do you defeat a shadow with light? Why didn't we think of this earlier?
Well, he had matches in his pocket. We put him in his pocket before he even came.
Yeah, they lit all the lanterns in the room.
Yeah.
The shadow put them out, so.
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, he points the light at the shadow. The shadow drops him like 100 feet in the air.
What I found fucking hilarious was he waited till he got to Neverland and be like, no, I don't want to go.
Well, maybe he was waiting.
Late.
Well, he was waiting for the opportunity because had he done that while they were still over London, he probably could have fell down a chimney somewhere and onto the fire, and we don't want that
either.
Just
splatted on the brick roads that they had.
I don't know. They're pretty close to the roofs.
Either way, he's not coming out of that without a scratch.
No, he's not.
But he lands in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And no mermaids, conveniently, were just not in that area.
They were sleeping. Come on now. They need their beauty sleep. Duh.
It's not working. A ship comes by, fishes him out of the water. They just, lay him out on the floor. And thank God he didn't die from hypothermia. And
I don't think he was floating there very long.
No.
No, he wasn't. But he is on, lo and behold, he is on the Jolly Roger, and Hook's standing up there above him. And so he is now part of the crew.
Well, yeah, and so this is how we know that it happened after Mila died, because Hook threw the bean into the water and went after.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up in Neverland.
And this starts the budding little father-son relationship with Hook and Bellfire.
Until Hook finds out some things.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, don't get me started.
Yeah, that comes later.
That's next episode.
Okay. Okay, but for now, so back in the present times, so we have Tamara still, putting up her little charade for Neil, saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna go running because I gotta do a marathon, I'm gonna go run in the forest."
Yeah.
Why would you run in the forest?
Well, because it's.
I would trip and fall and kill myself. No, legit, I really would.
Here's a little path up there.
There's paths and stuff there.
I would still hurt myself. Unless it's like, if it's smooth concrete, then maybe I got a chance. But if it's there's anything I could trip
Maybe the marathon she's going to go to that doesn't exist is in the woods.
Maybe. I mean, the greenery and stuff does make it easier for you to jog long distances because it's just oxygen high.
Yeah. Point is, she's not going there.
No.
Neil just is just going to assume he's sitting there like a lazy ass in his bed until he hears a little commotion outside. There's Rumpel on a little walk with who now Belle.
I actually like her with red hair.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I do.
Probably just because I just don't like Lacey.
That might be it. Yeah, I know. I think the red hair brings out her blue eyes. I think that's why I like her.
I guess so. But they have Dr. Whale on the ground, and so you got Rumpel stepping on him. He's doing the thing that he did back when he was first the Dark One, like kiss my boot, because you were staring at my lady.
Well, okay. He's not wrong with Dr. Whale. He's like, you were staring at her, and I know how you think. Yeah, he's not wrong.
No, but he
Dr.
doesn't need
Whale,
to.
I know, but Dr. Whale's kind of a cad.
All Gold had to do was shoot him a dirty look, and Whale would have just sped off. He would, treaded like he would have left. There would have been like a cartoon dust thing after him.
Scooby-Dooed himself right out of there?
Yeah.
But Neil just gets in there, gets his hands dirty, pulls Rumpel off the dude, and tells just run, go. So Rumpel and Neil, they get to have a little talk, for like presumably the first time that they've been in Storybrooke. They have a lot of time together. Rumpel doesn't care, he doesn't really make an effort to, get involved in Neil's life.
He's a deadbeat dad.
Mm-hmm.
And credit to where credit is due. Neil is trying with Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The whole reason why he's here. Rumpel says, if you want me to stay out of your life, then why are you here? It's like, I'm here for Henry, bitch, not you.
Mm-hmm.
Damn straight.
Slap Rumpel in the face, why don't you? Yeah. So Rumpel, and this doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would Rumpel spend all this time going after Bellfire, and this whole the reason why this whole show started is because Rumpel was trying to find Bellfire, and we finally get to this point, and Rumpel is just Rumpel doesn't get it.
It's like he doesn't want to spend time with Bellfire trying to get back. I don't know. Maybe it's because Bellfire told him straight out before that he's not going to.
That might be some of it, but I mean, we see Rumple before this point with Lacey struggling to be good for Neil. And then Lacey says, "You don't have to be good because you're great as a bad guy." And
Yep.
I think that just took over.
She likes them bad guys.
I don't know. Lacey, she freaks me out. Okay, so we have the gang, the little Charmings. They notice that Regina's missing. They don't know where she is because they break into her office. She's not there. The beans are missing from her little beanstalk that she's growing in her office. They look at the security system. It's been overridden. So they're just trying to figure out what's going on. And Emma just immediately jumps on to back on the Tamara train.
Mm-hmm.
Toot toot. God, I would be too. Come on. I mean, it's everything is pointing to her and no one's listening. No one's, it's like, oh, it's exasperating.
I mean, the first thing, Emma should have done, even though she's not a jealous ex, is done a background check. Or at least try to on Tamara, but...
Yeah, but they're all still running on, like, Windows, like, 1.
That's true. That's true.
Don't you have a phone, Emma, or something?
Yeah. They don't have. They have the flip phones. They don't have internet. They just.
Well, Emma has her own.
Yeah, I know. But this is supposed to take place when, like, in early 2000s.
Like 2013.
Not even that. I think it was before that. There was a timeline. But yeah. So they didn't have smartphones, or even the phones that could get on the internet weren't very.
But we know Emma has contacts in Boston and all the other places she's been. She could have easily been like, "Yo, I need a favor."
Yeah, let's take a look at your background check.
That would give us a background of Tamara. And apparently, they don't want us to know a background of a Tamara.
No, they don't.
No.
Maybe she's that boring.
Maybe they just didn't want to write her.
That might be it. They didn't want to write.
Well, because we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We have Tamara and Greg back at the packing plant, and they have Regina tied up to a table, and so they set up this little this machine that apparently they've used on magical beings before. Basically, what they're doing is they're giving her electroshock therapy without therapy. Mm-hmm. And so Tamara shows up with Greg, and like Greg's he's being all like a little whiny little bitch. He's like, I don't like that you're spending time with Neil. Yeah. It's like, I don't fucking care about your relationship drama. We all know you're gonna die.
Drama mama. That's basically it is.
It's disgusting.
It is, and it's so weird. Seeing the actor plays, like I said before, he's not a good drama actor. Please quit putting him in dramas.
He can't do serious.
I don't think I've ever seen him in a serious role that I've liked.
But Tamara has the beans from the office. She has the beans, the magic beans. And then she has the little diamond, that's the failsafe. Mm-hmm. And they have no idea what it is they're dealing with. They just have these random things that they don't know. They said, we're going to send them back to headquarters. Well, headquarters, it doesn't exist. So they start doing the little procedure on Regina, because Greg just wants to know where his dad is. And I don't understand at this point where Greg, you know this woman. Mm-hmm. The thought must have passed your mind that your dad is dead because she killed him. Like, I know it's good to have hope, but like, come on. The reality of the situation is the first thought you would have that this woman with magical powers who had a heart in a box, that she would have killed your dad by now.
Yep. And the thing is, when he kept asking her, she's like, she went from I know nothing to he's just gone.
Well, he is gone.
He's just not lying. He is gone.
And he didn't like leave. Well, I guess in a sense he left, but he is gone.
But did she actually kill him, or did he like do something?
I think he had a heart attack or something. Died of aging and being just like not taken care of. I don't think she killed
Maybe
him.
she
had him down in the rooms.
Asylum.
The
Yeah.
Hmm.
Nurse Ratchet wasn't looking after him very good.
Well, she doesn't look after anybody. I think they're all dead.
Oh, she didn't.
No.
Well, Emma is going back into the apartment, breaking into places. What Emma does. Neil's still in denial, and he said, "Where's Tamara?" She said, "Oh, she's running in the forest." Well, then why is there sand, from her shoes?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she goes down to the beach. The beach is nice. People like to go to the beach. So they go down to the beach, try to see if she's there. Of course, there's Tamara on the beach. And said, "Oh, Tamara, what are you doing here? I thought you were going to the forest." Like, I go to the forest, but then I also go down to the beach because the beach is nice. People go to the beach.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she had like a tracker or something on Neil or something, a little microphone, like telling her where and what was going on.
I would not put it past her.
No, it's very possible they had a bug in the room or something. She knew exactly what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can you imagine if Greg was on the other end of that bug and she had to like show that she was loving the Neil? Oh God.
Okay. That's like your mom and thinking about your mom and dad.
Oh, Brody. And Emma had to do that. Okay, we have Mary Margaret, and then we have David going to Rumple because they, when in doubt, go to Rumple for help.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to find Regina. They have no idea what they're doing because they have nowhere to go. So Rumple tells them, "Okay, well, David still owes me that favor. Well, or rather, I owe David the favor."
Mm-hmm.
We have this. So this is an interesting type of magic where he has Regina's tear for some reason, but I don't know what he needed it for. I don't think it ever is brought up why he has this or what he needed it for.
I don't remember if there was a reason.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't remember him.
I think it might have been one of those things where she wanted something, and he's like, "Well, all I want is your tear." Kind of like when Snow asked to not have feelings anymore, and he's like, "I just want a piece of your hair."
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Oh, but so what this little magic spell does? Well, he needs a tear from Mary Margaret. And so what this does is it's going to have Mary Margaret be able to see and feel whatever Regina sees and feels. Basically like putting Snow into Regina's body. Think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So so they get what they need, they leave, and then Lacey finds out that Rumple has magic. And Lacey is taking this surprisingly well. It's odd.
Yeah, that's odd.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he gave her a diamond necklace. I take it real fine if someone's gonna give me some jewelry.
I mean, she did, like, they were talking about giving her immortality forever young kind of deal. So she was, like, totally on top of that bus.
Was that the only thing she was on top of?
No. I don't like it.
Oh.
He's all crusty. It's gross. Okay.
It's all crusty and gross. It's over 3,000 years old. I don't know how old it is.
Oh my lord.
And it's off the rails.
Yep.
Okay. So Mary Margaret and David, they're trying to see if this little thing, this magic spell works, and at first it doesn't do nothing, and then Mary Margaret starts having a seizure in the chair. Because this was must have been terrible, because right when the magic starts working is when Regina is just getting, shocked on that table from the machine. And they have no idea what's happening. They're both in extreme pain. And David's all freaking out. He doesn't know what's going on.
No. Of course, I would be freaking out too. What the hell is going on? Give me this item. And now you go into a seizure. What's going on?
Okay, so instead of showing us the results of that, the show has to take a break from that whole thing and to show us back the Neil and Emma drama.
Shit.
So Emma has the egg on her face. Not really, it's a fake egg, but it's still on her face. Her and Neil have a little talk about, like, you know, what happened back, you know, when they were young, and, you know, Emma going to jail, and then Neil just leaving. Kind of really touching, because, you know, like, I forgot that. See, I don't hate Neil, but I don't particularly like Neil, but I forgot that these two had chemistry, and, you know, they worked well together. But, you know, and then Tamar had to come in and fuck it all up.
But that's after she found out they found them.
Yeah.
But I see, this is how I know that I don't think Owen was totally with the whole no magic, killing all the magic stuff. I think he only joined because he wanted to find his father. Because he didn't want to leave. Because if he was with the whole no magic thing, he would have left with Tamara.
Yep.
But he was like, no, I have to find my daddy, kind of thing. And it's like, you're not going to like what you're going to find, dude.
Well, he didn't know.
No.
Well, he should have known better.
You should have.
But while the whole shocking thing's going on, he's not getting anything out of Regina. He keeps trying, it's not working. You're not intimidating, dude. You should just stop.
He turned it up to 11.
Let's go to 11.
He did.
Yeah. Is that a lost reference? I hope not.
No.
Okay.
It's just a meme thing.
It's a number, and they're only numbers. That's the only thing in the show. They're just fucking numbers, okay? They don't mean anything.
We're not going to do no lost thing here.
Okay. Good.
There's the only time I will ever make a fucking Lost reference if there's a fucking polar bear in the middle of town, and we're not. And even then, if that happens, I'm like, there's a polar bear in town. That means Elsa's coming back, right? No.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Or at least Anna.
But so Mary Margaret, after, you know, that whole episode, she's like trying to remember like things. She couldn't really see anything because, you know, she was too busy, you know, in excruciating pain. She couldn't see, but, you know, she smelled the sardines. It smelled disgusting. And so
there's only one place in town that does sardines, so, you know, kind of narrows it down.
Yep.
So then we have, so Emma, she figures out, okay, so like we gotta go to the cannery, see what's going on there, and it's conveniently the only cannery in town that serves sardines. So they're looking in there, it's all creepy, all eerie. Goes to, we have David and Mary Margaret there too, and then they run into Tamara. And then Tamara goes all like weird sociopath mode. And so Greg, he's still, you know, he's still not looking at the bigger picture. He doesn't want to deal with them. He just wants to go find his daddy. He keeps torturing Regina, still not working. And then Regina finally says, you know, okay, your dad is fucking dead. He's been dead.
I buried him.
Out in the...
By the campsite. His campsite, yeah.
And then so... Greg, he just runs over there like, you know your dad's dead, dude. I don't know why you got to go check.
All right. Why do you have to go dig up your dad's body?
Like, you're asking to have your heart ripped out of your chest. Anyways, well, he goes over there. He's at the campsite. He's digging. Skeleton of your dad with the same clothes that he had on the whole time. And, like, of course, now, like, I guess he has closure, if that's what you were looking for.
We don't know what he was looking for.
I don't know. I don't like this character. I don't like either of these characters. I don't know why they're here.
They could have done so much better with these two characters than they did. It could have been so much more interesting. Well, I think they casted it wrong.
That and this storyline doesn't really work for the type of show this is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting, but this kind of storyline works better on a show more like, I don't know, this works better on like Grimm's or something like that, not this show.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we don't have to worry about these two for long.
No.
We have a little confrontation in the hallway, a little Marvel hallway fight scene, kind of, before those were a thing.
Yeah.
we got Tamara there, we got Neil there, we got Emma there, Tamara with the gun, and I forgot she had the magic beans, and she pulls out.
She shot Neil.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what it's like. When it first aired, I was like, no, she's not gonna. Bam! She shot him. Whoosh!
Yeah.
Bitch be crazy.
Mhm.
Well, it was right after he's like, did you ever, love me? No. Bam!
Shoots Neil, throws the magic bean, and the portal opens up, and it's all scary. It's like nice parallels, and so Neil falls into the portal. Emma's trying to hold on, and she doesn't want to let go, and he's still shot, and he's still he recovered pretty fast. And so, of course, Emma chooses the most inconvenient times to say "I love you" to any man in her life.
Right.
I mean, before that, she was pretty badass. The way she flipped Tamara on her back and all that. That was good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Good fight scene.
But I don't think everyone's they think that Neil and Emma had this true love. I think maybe at the time they loved each other, but I think at this time where he's falling in and she's they say I love you. I think it's not like the kind of love
that would cure a curse.
Yeah, it's just love. They love each other. There is going to be love. There's always going to be love. They have a son together. They have a past together. There's always going to be that love. But I don't think it's that love that she has with Hook.
I don't know. I see a flaw in their love as well. So
I don't know. They're not for each other.
Because if he really loved her, he would have, even though what Pinocchio said, even though what August said, it wouldn't have stopped him. Because it would not have stopped Hook. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have stopped Hook. Hook had told August to go fuck himself.
And he
he might have, but I don't know if he lied to himself.
I don't know. We're not at that point yet. So Neil falls through the portal. We don't know where he goes. Well, at this point, if you're watching this for the first time, you don't know where he goes, but we know where he goes.
We know.
Portal closes. Tamara gets away, and they free Regina from the cannery, and so they have a new mission: try to find Neil and try to stop these two idiots because they have the failsafe and they're gonna use it.
These two idiots. We're just gonna call them the two idiots.
Yeah, these two idiots.
Oh my god, they're Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Oh my god, that's okay. Yeah, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh.
It does. It makes so much bad sense.
Oh. Well, that's it for these two episodes. The next episode is the season 2 finale. So we get the whole shebang, and then we get the tie to next season. That's the season 3 Neverland, which is personally one of my favorite seasons. Overall, towards the end of this season, I like this season. Not one of my favorites.
I think the first half went through they give a lot of backstory to a lot of different characters, which is really, really cool and which I really like, especially a lot of background to Rumpel's character and why he is the way he is and stuff.
They did background on Red, and they picked out a lot of characters and they told us a lot about them. And the second half of the season was weak in comparison.
Yeah, yes. But I think next episode it really picks up.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Okay, do we have anything to add?
Not really, no.
No points of interest. Anybody in chat? Do y'all have that we might have missed?
Someone said, if Neil and died, it might have became that kind of true love. I don't think so. I think there was too much water under the bridge. There's too much shit going on. I think they would they'd still love each other, but they wouldn't be in love with each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that does make sense. I mean, I think you can love someone, but I think true love is I don't know, true love in this show is like wishy-washy. We don't really know what it is.
Mhm.
We never had Neil and Emma never had the magical whooshy whoosh, you know? The magical whooshy whoosh that happens when, the true loves kiss in the show.
Yeah, I think, they never had it. I mean, they loved each other, yes. You can love someone, even like really love them to the point, but at the same time know that they're not good for you in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it was with Neil and her. I think there was always going to be that miss, like something was just off, like they're going to keep missing each other at certain points. And you know what I mean? It's just, so I just don't think they were good for each other. I think they were good as a group, as like partners, but I don't think they would have survived as a couple.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been nice, Neil could have had his own place, and Henry stay over there on the weekends, and actually, it would have been better if Neil went back to New York, and then they had Henry go over there when shit went down.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think it. Yeah, I just don't think it was that kind of. I think maybe at one time it could have been, but things just weren't meant. They weren't meant to be. Let's just put it that way. I don't think they were meant to be.
Well, maybe if things played out differently, we could have gotten to that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But just the way things unfolded, and the whole going to jail thing with the stolen watches, and and leaving the poor Emma with the baby in the jail. I don't know.
Yeah, just things didn't come to fruition. Things just didn't add up.
And of course, we have Hook now, so
yeah,
that's another factor.
Yo ho.
Which is what Hook says to the bitches on the dock. With that, that is our show. Nikki, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Good. Rachel, where can people find you?
They can find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 and on Twitch at VikingWitch, which hopefully my internet won't pump out like it did today.
And you can find me and Dolphin Like Giggles and Gore and Monsters and Mayhem here on YouTube at Jacob Salazar. You can find me on Twitter, tweeting me throughout the life at TuneOverland. That is TONOWHERELAND, join the Man Society. With that is our show, and please subscribe to the SCM TV podcast for some more of your favorite TV shows, games, movies. We don't talk about games anymore on the show. We should really change that outro. And with that, catch us on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the FaceTubes, and the MySpaces, and the MyBooks, and the whatever else, whatever the kids are using these days. With that, good night, everybody.
Do.
We can't know.